Juno did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's Sarah's fault that she had such a fuckable husband.
I know, right?
Welcome to Reshoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before. Hello, everyone.
He's like wheat bread personified.
He is.
He's like American cheese.
Is there British cheese?
I mean, yeah, there's British cheeses, but they're all actually like interesting and they taste good.
Yeah.
They're not American cheese product.
Welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to good or film. We take movies that are good, like this one, bad.
Why are you changing our tagline, dude? We take movies we like, we dislike, and somewhere in between, and we make them objectively better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm on an off day.
And it's spoopy season, so we did a spoopy movie.
Oh yeah, speaking of woo, Ed, you did a really good job when Hector did the spooky ghost noises.
Oh, yeah.
Hector, you did a great job making the spooky ghost noises.
I don't remember what you're talking about. This joke's falling flat, dude.
I added reverb to that one thing you told me to add reverb.
It was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember the episode. Anyway,
today's movie is The Descent.
See, we didn't lie to you, audience.
Yeah.
We just got sidetracked.
A lot. It's been a wild month. So we didn't plan. We really didn't plan this one out. Who's starting? Who wants to start?
Yeah. So technically, you had picked this movie, but I feel like
you're the one who came with the ideas, though.
I think we should start off with saying that this movie has 2 different endings.
Yes.
You can't get the movie with the good ending. You can only get the American release version.
Well, at least where we are.
Where we are, yeah. No, I think even in UK you can't get their original.
No, the UK you can. You can. It's physical and stuff. Okay. To the point where a lot of people didn't know about the American ending. The American ending's just cut differently. It's like they cut it like a minute.
It's horrible.
It's really bad. It just sets up a sequel. That's all it does.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with the UK ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can find if you watch the American one where it ends with the jump scare, then you can. Well, this is a full spoilers podcast. If it ends with the part where the dead Juno, is haunting her in the car, then there's an extra minute that was.
I didn't even pick up that it was Juno. I just thought she saw like a lady vampire with hair.
No, it's Juno. It's just Juno. The makeup was kind of iffy.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
The clothes were the same.
The UK good ending, after the Juno jump scare, it cuts back to Sarah?
Yes, Sarah in the cave.
Sarah waking up in the cave where there wasn't actually an exit, and she hallucinates her daughter and her birthday cake again, while you can hear all the creatures getting closer. She's at a dead end, basically, in the cave.
Yeah, it was a pretty good ending.
Yep. But no, people here are like, oh, that's too dark for American
I think
audiences.
The executives lied and just said that because they knew they had a hit and they wanted to make a sequel. The sequel came out like 2-3 years later.
The sequel bait, I don't think the sequel bait was what prompted them to make the ending. I think it is like an American audience's. It was probably like a testing thing.
So I looked up some interviews from the director because I got interested on some stuff. One, he says supposedly it was just like 1 or 2 people who in test audience who just made a passing comment to like, man, that was sad. And then they're like, no, we're going to cut the ending like, based off of that, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the... Or how do I say this? The people studios choose, or like, I don't know how they do testing audiences, but a lot of the testing audiences have some really like hot takes that are usually bad. And then things get reshot to be so much worse.
I actually know a little bit of how that happens. I almost was a part of it once.
And from what I learned, I went to school, as audience members may know, for like advertising and shit. One of my classes was talking about how one of the top ad agencies in the US, Wyden and Kennedy, they specifically state in their contracts that they will not engage with a test audience, or they will not, and in addition to that, they won't like do little requests like, don't do an ad with a goat, because last time we did an ad with a goat, it wasn't received well. They don't do that. You just write off that, because they get the results. They're Wyden and Kennedy.
When I was in Vegas years ago as a teenager, there was a thing. One of the hotels had a thing where, or was a mall, where you can go in, you can just sign up, and if you're chosen, you can go in, you can see something early. I think it was a movie or TV show, and then you just give your thoughts. And it's supposed to be like the pilot, and they don't tell you what it is really until you go in. So yeah, I wish I'd done that. If I ever go back to Vegas, I'm gonna see if they still have that. I'm gonna do it.
Like honestly, there for some movies, there's a lot of studio interference that makes the movie worse. But honestly, like probably some of the worst things I've ever seen has been because of test audience reception.
I don't know, Ed. We
The
just
worst
saw Joker
changes.
2. Which was
I feel like a test audience could have fixed Joker 2.
yeah, test audience would have really fixed Joker 2.
I
He
know,
took
but
none of that.
again, yes, but like I'm just saying, confirmation bias. Some of the worst changes I've ever learned about is usually because of test audience reception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Student
issue,
interference is also bad, but test audience is Jesus Christ.
the trick with a test audience is you have to listen not to what they say to fix, but what they're saying is wrong. A lot of the times, or just with any kind of criticism, right? Somebody might tell you, have this character do this, or they'll tell you exactly what they would want, but sometimes it's looking past what they're saying to fix and looking at why they want to fix a thing that
Mm-hmm.
improves a movie. And I know that's ironic coming from us.
Yeah, but like at times we've missed the mark, but we've missed the exact mark, but we kind of got somewhere in the target.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, we're not professionals yet.
yeah. All right. So Rudy, do you want to start first?
I started first last time.
Okay,
Do you want to go first?
Ed, do you want to start first?
I'm looking at you, Hector. You went last.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I asked to go last. I wasn't sure. So, the context is basically the quickest summary. There's Juno, Sarah, Beth, Sam, and Rebecca, and Holly. Holly
Yeah.
go caving a year after Sarah
Sarah's.
lost her husband and daughter in a crash. Juno was the mistress that Sarah's husband was cheating on Sarah on, but she didn't know. They go caving in a Juno lies to them about this cave. They get trapped. Ends up there's a bunch of monsters there. They all die. That's the rundown.
Basically,
You should see the movie. You should see the movie before listening to this. It's a fucking great film. My likes. So we do likes, dislikes, and fixes. Likes. How the fuck was the caving scarier than the monsters? Like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm claustrophobic in real life, but like, ugh, some of those scenes scared the shit out of me. The acting was great, especially with Juno and Sarah and Holly. They were the really standout ones. The monster design was solid, and the introduction with that one really good jump scare, subtle. Mwah,
Are you talking about the one where like
with
they
the
turn on
camera. Yeah.
the camera and the vampire's right there?
Yeah. It was so good.
I really shit myself at that point.
Holly was a lot of fun. I do bit of this like I wish we had more of her in the film. A little more would have been fine. The Juno stabbing Beth was fucking brutal. I actually liked it. The way it happened. I don't know, it felt cool. Or not cool, it just feels like it usually it's a cheap thing, but it worked. I don't know why. Maybe because we knew there was a friendship beforehand. I like the cheating storyline. It's just so good. Show don't tell. They never talk about it physically once. They just it's like all she does is she shows the little necklace. She's like, I know, cuts her knee or her leg so she can't escape. God, no words needed. I love the good show don't tell.
I agree on that. I don't like the cheating subplot, and I find myself really frustrated with Beth's death. It was so dumb. Like aesthetically, it was sick. Juno was a badass in that moment, but what the hell, Beth? You just watched somebody
go into berserker rage and you just walk up.
And she's like, wow, my friend is in a fight response. Let me just walk up to her really quickly and quietly and like try and tap on her shoulder here in melee distance.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you're not also thinking straight when you're that scared. You're running to your friend and probably can't talk.
You'd think she'd at least go, Juno!
I mean, Juno at a distance instead of just like basically sneaking up.
Yeah, on but then like the whole thing's a descent to madness. She was not thinking. I'm giving it a pass personally.
Yeah, no, it's your like.
Also, the bloodbath was really well done.
True.
The bloodbath was really good, well designed. It didn't just look like they just put like cheap paint or whatever. It looked like actual blood.
Yeah, props to their blood guy.
This is my weird dislike. Hear me out. Too many women, and not long enough with Sam and Rebecca to either care or remember who was who. They introduce them really quick. 2 lines about what makes them special. One's a doctor.
Yeah, I don't even think Rebecca got a thing.
No, and then like she's a college student, I think, or one.
Well, Sam's the college student. She's studying to be a doctor.
Yeah, right. Sam's a college student. Rebecca, I can't remember who they are.
The only thing that I can distinguish Sam and Rebecca is that Rebecca is very maternal towards Sam.
Okay, but yeah, it just felt like they were padding.
Yeah.
When you could have just had more of the same, and I'll get to it.
You know what could have fixed that? Making the movie 2 hours instead of 1 hour and 33. Literally every horror movie that I've seen that's 2 hours, I actually learn and care about the characters. Who would have thought?
I think with
30 minutes of learning about the characters is so good.
I think with this kind of movie, I think the leanness of the lean runtime, the lean everything else actually worked for me, which is weird. But like,
I'm with you about that. I kind of forgot who was who except for Juno, Sarah, and Holly.
Beth.
And I even forgot who Beth was, really.
Oh, dang. I remember the trio. It could have been the trio and Holly. Anyway, the American ending sucked. And I swear the executives were like, we can make a sequel out of this. Let's cut it. It was, I know Ruthie's like, it could have been test audience. Maybe it was. Some executive knew they had a hit on their hands when distributing it. And we're just like, no, we're making a sequel. We want our own, was Paranormal Activity a thing back in 2005?
The aughts. So the thing about the aughts is I remember that had a lot of really fucked up horror movies. And this came out 2007.
5.
It came out 2005?
5.
Paranormal Activity came out in 2007. Paranormal Activity was 07.
Oh. I kept thinking this movie came out in 07.
I looked it up on Wikipedia earlier. It was 2005. Okay. Might have been the UK version.
Still, I remember being a child in those years, and my god, I hated watching movie trailers because everyone, it was like, fucking Saw, Paranormal Activity. There was one where there was like a monster under bed sheets, and that scared the shit out of me. Oh, Before I Wake?
Don't remember that one.
What the hell are you talking about?
These are horror movies that came out in the mid-2000s. Or the early 2000s.
Yeah. Well, no, there was one. The title of the movie was like a part of the Lord's Prayer, and like the end of the trailer, it was like a kid crawling under the sheets, and then there was a monster in the sheets, and then it pulled the kid under the covers. And as a small child at the time,
that movie came out in 2016.
Huh?
Before I Wake came out in 2016.
Okay, well, it wasn't that then.
There was a different movie, but
there was a trailer. Yeah, that's how that ended. It was horrible.
I get it. I can't watch horror movie trailers even now. They freak me out. The whole movie? Sure. The trailer?
What about Nosferatu?
Because I mean, that one's different.
that
That
one's
one's
good.
atmospheric as shit.
Yeah.
I inject that shit in my veins, Eggers. I am ready. I don't even like
Proof
horror
it to
movies.
me.
This is a weird one, a weird fic. Oh wait, I'm going to my fixes now. I have 2 real fixes
Okay.
because again, I really like this film, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And Ruthie's like, can you imagine if this is the? She made some joke about this being a better Minecraft movie than Minecraft, and I was like, can I do an actual Minecraft movie off of this?
It made me want to pick up Minecraft again. I was playing this right before we jumped in to record.
Yeah, but Ruthie gave me permission because I had nothing else to fucking fix. I like this film a lot. I really like this film.
And I liked my fixes too much to change course.
Yeah. So my 2 fixes: remove Sam and Rebecca. It's less characters to keep track of, and it also makes everything feel a lot more claustrophobic if there's barely enough room for them. Also, if you're gonna have, the colors were red, kind of a yellow,
What do you mean the colors?
and white light, like the flashlights were like white or yellow.
Uh-huh.
They had red flares and a little whitish flares,
Mm-hmm.
and they had green.
Oh, glow sticks.
Green glow sticks. One more color. I don't know why, but something about adding one more color in like the worst possible moment. Like maybe
Like
there's
golden eye shine?
maybe, yeah, like maybe there's some kind of like weirder shade that's like, oh, maybe it's outside. Maybe it's like the phosphorus thing, or I don't know, or maybe it's like, oh, there's a different light. Maybe that means it's other people. Nope. Just some other thing of fake. I don't know. This was just something I want. I don't know how to fix it. So now here's my fake fixes for the Minecraft film. I hate them doing this. I don't know much about Minecraft. I had to look some stuff up. I did a little bit of research. I don't know if this is good. Ruthie, Ed, you both have played Minecraft. Fucking correct me and beat me up for this. There's still 4 of them.
Okay.
This is a hardcore server, right?
Okay.
So when Sarah's daughter and her husband die, they're out of the game.
If you die in Minecraft, you
You
die in real life.
I think we're gonna switch from like computer to like in-game
Okay.
characterization, like a gritty reboot kind of deal. It's the mid-aughts. It was what started, you know. The cheating is still happening in real life.
Wait, so they're playing like they're like full on playing in a computer. This
Yeah.
isn't like a Jumanji thing.
No, it's in the computer.
So like you'll get cuts to like Sarah being on the keyboard. Being
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's not gonna be scary at all. No.
Okay.
So the cheating is still happening since Sarah's husband has an encyclopedic memory and a good meta knowledge of the game. He knows how to make stuff without the recipe book, which they don't have. So he made an arrow of slowness for Sarah, saying that he only makes it for the people he loves, like truly loves. And then, they die. It's a year of inactivity because it's like the 2 funniest people in the server, Sarah's daughter and husband, are dead in the game, and it's not as fun anymore, so they kind of moved on. It was like a big whole thing of trying to survive hardcore. And then Juno's like, wait, guys, I went exploring. I think I found a cave with diamond. Let's all get together for this little girls' night. But then there's secretly a bug where it's like, kind of... This is really bad. I can feel the energy just draining as I say this. But like the Endermen are too fast and they zip around. Maybe the Halloween update came early, so the mouth area is red and it's actually kind of creepy.
Are the Endermen just instantly hostile? Because usually they're kind of neutral.
No, they're instantly hostile. They teleport all over the place, and it's in the cave, and they can't get out because they ran out of objects. So Juno accidentally shoots these Endermen with an arrow of slowness. Beth sees it, and then Juno just hits the ground under Beth, and Beth starts falling, so it's like the last layer, right into the ground where there's a lot more Endermen, and then Beth just is dying. So Sarah, who was split off, finds Beth, who's about to die, and then she's like, Juno, because I guess it's like proximity voice chat for like the grittiness of the game. It's like... She's like, Juno, use an arrow of slowness. It's like, she what? Because I looked it up. There's an actual arrow of slowness in the game.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I didn't know. You never told me this. I'm
couldn't
double
remember
checking.
any of the status effect arrows. I never get them.
Oh, okay. Because you have to kill a dragon, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Sarah and Beth fight to the death, and then Sarah staggers Beth with an arrow of slowness.
Beth, you mean Juno?
Why did I say Beth? Juno, thank you. With the arrow of slowness, right as the Endermen catch up and eat her. And then she's like, she gets out. We're keeping the American ending. She gets out, but right she sees the last Enderman, she logs out. And then the end credits is Sarah yelling at her husband. We hear it in the background saying like, "Don't the text? You said the text. You said this," and then she's kicking him out. And like ends up he's not a good liar outside of lying of omission.
Can I make when you said that her husband is cheating on her with Juno and it's also happening in the game, I thought they were gonna be like sexting in the little, because you can like text each other in the game, and I'm like, Sarah, you fucking idiot! How do you not see that?
That's even funnier. Keep that in too.
You can do whispers.
Huh?
You can do whispers, I'm pretty sure, in Minecraft.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of multiplayer.
Yeah, fuck multiplayer Minecraft.
That's the only way I like Minecraft. No joke. I can't play single player. I played at a friend's house single player. Was not a fan. I can play multiplayer no problem, but I can't.
Multiplayer's unhinged, but single player, I don't know. It's meditative. You just build a house.
Someone doesn't.
But
play
do you
hardcore.
even build in? Do you play in survival mode?
Yeah.
Okay, weird.
What?
Because survival mode isn't supposed to be super meditative.
It is for me. Usually, it's like, ooh, I get to build my house. I get to make pretty. Oh God, creeper!
I mean, I get it. I the Dark Soul games are meditative. The Souls Born games are meditative to me.
Yeah.
To a degree. Anyway, that's it. I couldn't really. I like this movie too much, so I had to do like a bad fix or a ruin.
That reminds your little fix reminds me of this one really bad movie I saw a long time ago starring Shia LaBeouf. I can't quite remember the name of it right now.
Wasn't it Suburbia or whatever?
No. That's Disturbia is one of them, but there's another
That's a Rihanna
one
song.
that came out.
That's a Rihanna song, Ed.
Where it's like if you die in the game, you die in real life, kind of thing. Also, but give me 1 second because I.
No, Ruthie, it's no Disturbia. The darkness is alive. I think.
But doesn't she have a song about diamonds in the sky?
Da, 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 da. What's the name of that song?
I don't know.
Isn't it Suspiria? It's a
I'm trying to fuck with you too.
God damn it, it's working. Okay. Oh man, when will Ed return from the Minecraft wars? Oh wow, that was fast. Damn, dude.
Keep that in.
It's like the dad who went to say you actually came back with the cigarettes, Dad. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's Stay Alive. That's the one. It does not have Shia LaBeouf. I got him confused with somebody else for some reason.
I've never heard of this film. Is it?
It's really bad. Well, it's bad.
It's bad?
It's bad.
How bad?
I mean, it's
Pretty
the one
bad.
that popularized if you die in the game, you die in real life.
That's Sword Art Online.
No, but they didn't.
I'm pretty sure SAO came out after Stay Alive.
No, it didn't, Ed. Don't Google it, please. Let me have this. So, who's going next? Ed, Ruthie? Okay.
I thought you were just gonna call me Ruth, and I'm like,
Ruth.
Cursed. Hate. What I liked about the descent, I liked Appalachia. I don't know. I listened to Old Gods of Appalachia. Apparently, I'm going to talk about other podcasts in our podcast episode. Really good shit if you like spooky. Happy Halloween. I'm super excited for the next season. It got delayed because of all the hurricanes, but I'm so excited. I'm going to listen to it as soon as I can. So as soon as I saw the little like info alert about where they are now, Appalachia 1 year later, after the horrible accident, I'm like, they're gonna get eaten by Mothman.
Did they film it in actual Appalachia? I thought they filmed it in London. They just got like American cars.
Well, because the road at one point I thought the roads weren't American, but I think it was the color grading. Because
that color grading was weird
it was the odds.
It was It's funny. It was fine in the caves, but like when they were in the outside, I'm like.
But a lot of movies in like the aughts and the late 90s did that. They tried to make green work, and green doesn't work.
Old Boy made green work.
Ugh.
David
Anywho.
Fincher made green work.
Who?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Which
fair.
one? I didn't hear.
David Fincher. His
Okay,
movies are all
yes.
really green.
Caving horror stories have kind of become yet another little mini obsession for me, so I had a great time. Also, like, I'm anti-claustrophobic, so again, I had a great time.
Lucky.
There were moments where I was watching. Yeah, so I was. There were moments where I was watching everything unfold, and Hector would be next to me, and he's like, "My butt cheeks are so clenched right now," and I'd be like, "Oh my god, did I see something?" But it would be nothing. And then the scene where they're all in pitch black dark, and one of them turns on the infrared, and the vampire was there. I nearly shat myself.
I hate jump scares like a lot, but that was so good. I wasn't even like jumped. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah, and I was like, "Ah!"
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad you went hold my hand at the point. Ugh, would have broken a finger or two.
There were like some jump scares, but they were pretty tasteful, all things considered.
Yeah, the caving got me more. Like the caving got me so bad in this movie. I'm like, never doing this shit.
Mm-hmm. I actually liked the all women cast, and I also
I did too.
Yeah. Nobody felt overly sexualized, and Juno and Sarah felt like actual badasses.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie was very cohesive, which in a way made it difficult to fix, but also made it easy to fix because you could follow the train of thought. Now, what I disliked. First on the list, the Sarah's husband was cheating on her with Juno plotline. It just felt so unnecessary to me. I don't know. It didn't need to be there. I wasn't vibing. The group dynamics felt very plagued by this girlfriends are toxic and shallow mentality that was kind of pervasive in the early 2000s.
I didn't.
Just Juno.
Just Juno. I didn't feel that
No,
was
because the
anyone
other
else.
girls were kind of bitchy to Holly too.
Well, Holly was trying to do crazy
Holly's
shit.
yeah, and Holly was also like the newcomer to the group.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of the original group. So yeah, I can see the
Supposedly he
weird.
got a lot of notes from the women in the movie, the actresses were like, can you change this line? Women, like, I think it was like, women don't talk about what they're thinking, they talk about how they feel. And I'm like, and that kind of came out more. So I think he listened to him well enough.
I don't know. There was just something in the cabin. It kind of struck me that they're kind of getting clicky, and I'm like, really?
Oh,
Maybe they filmed the movie in order, so maybe that was he was still getting the kinks out of the writing.
Probably.
they filmed this movie in order?
For the most part, yes.
Dang.
It was one
Wow.
interview. I found all this in like one really good interview.
Introducing Sam, Rebecca, and Holly in the second bout when they're meeting at the cabin, I can see where they were going with this. They didn't want to introduce everybody a la The Hobbit, where everybody's thrust upon the audience at once and you're trying to keep straight Owen and Glowing and Baron, Farron, da da da.
You made those names up, right?
First two are real.
Jesus, okay, Tolkien.
I have Lord of the Rings tattoo. What do you expect?
No, you're fine. Not you. I'm saying Tolkien. I'm like, god damn it. Of course he would name them.
Well, yeah, the hobbits, their names rhyme.
Yeah.
Or the dwarves in Lord of the in.
I got you, man. You
Yeah,
meant,
yeah, yeah.
I know they were. I've read enough of The Hobbit.
Yeah. I get where they were going with it. I don't think it was the right move because it did have the same effect where Sam and Rebecca look very similar, and Rebecca had no like traits to her other than, like I said, she was kind of maternal towards Sam, so I couldn't pick them out of a lineup. They're also both blonde, so there was plenty of moments where I would mix the three of Sam and Rebecca and Sarah up.
So I'm not being sexist when I said I couldn't.
No, because there were times where you were asking me who it was, and I'd say, "Oh, that's Sam." Wait, shit, no, that's Sarah. Wait, is that Rebecca? Who?
Yeah. Okay, good to know it's not just me. It was just like introduced so fast.
Yeah.
It wasn't just you.
Oh, phew, I'm not sexist. Okay, well.
Yeah. Yeah, I could always pick out which one was Holly, which one was Juno, and which one was Beth. Even though Beth was also kind of like lackluster in the personality department, I could always pick her out. But Sam and Rebecca, I don't know. I didn't get a lot of like stuff to pick at. I know it was an aesthetic choice to have the movie be dark and as close as it was, but I didn't like not being able to see the landscape that the characters were working with. It felt like it was kind of cheapening what the movie was building to horror wise, but I don't know. That's a personal opinion, you know?
I can see what you're talking about. I don't agree, but I can definitely see what you're talking about, and I can understand that
It's
position.
just an aesthetic choice. I would have gone a different way.
No, I completely understand. I thought it lent itself to the whole claustrophobic feeling of the entire
And it
movie,
did. It certainly did.
but I get it.
But like I don't know. If it was me, this is this is our podcast. We fix things. If it was me, I would have shown the what the cave looked like just a little bit more, so that the audience could understand like some of these dangers, like Holly running towards what she thinks is the exit, and then there's like a hole in the ground. I don't know. You could have like established that kind of like, hey, watch where you're stepping a little bit more. I don't know. Also, they're gonna go caving the next morning, and then they just decide that they're gonna get super drunk and stay up late, and then get into a conversation about having lots of babies and traumatizing Sarah. There are so many things that go wrong in in cave exploration, where it can be the difference between life and death. Even the kind of caves with handrails and shit that Juno and Holly are bitching about. Even as a person who's never stepped foot in a cave, I can see that is clearly a stupid thing to do. And Juno even knows that they're not going to the handrails and shit cave. They're going to a brand new cave. And she's totally fine. She's not, telling people, like, cut it out. Let's go caving. I don't want you to be super fucking hungover. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be a horror movie without dumb shit.
Yeah.
Beth watches her friend killing two monsters in close quarters combat with no hesitation, decides to walk up to her quickly and quietly and interrupt her with her fight response.
I
Bruh.
I honestly I get that complaint. I'm completely completely fine with that one.
Aesthetically, I agree with you. That was sick. That was cold. But I just thought the lead up to it was so dumb.
Should she have been chased?
Yeah, it could have been like she was chased, or she was back to back with Juno, also fighting like vampires, and she was kind of losing. And Juno has already finished off her two vampires, and then Beth bumps into Juno, and I don't know.
I don't keep calling vampire because I called it a vampire. Do you know what the original, what the idea was for the creature?
Mothman?
You know how early cavemen came out of the caves?
Okay.
These are people who didn't come out of the caves. They just stayed in there and evolved to be able to live in caves and stuff like that forever. And yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
Oh, speaking of the creatures, thank you for the segue. The creatures were entirely blind, but they didn't seem to have like better hearing or any kind of senses that compensated for the blindness. And they couldn't tell when a flare was lit. Like, I know flares aren't gonna be like, they kind of make flares nowadays. I thought they make flares so that they aren't gonna like. I could be wrong.
No, they still have sound.
Oh no, they still have sound. I'm thinking like, don't they make flares where they're not gonna catch fire if you're in an environment where you could catch fire?
I'm unsure of that.
Yeah.
I don't use flares like ever.
But yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think flares are not supposed to catch things on fire because it's like a weird fire.
Yeah, it's not a traditional like source of.
Yeah.
The way that they light isn't like striking a match. Usually,
No,
it's like sometimes
some
they're
chemical
like a
reaction,
chemical.
I think.
Yeah. But like vampires, like couldn't sense any kind of like heat coming off it. They couldn't hear it. I don't know. It was bothered me a lot. So my fixes. Horror stories typically are either set up to punish characters for transgressions they have made or punishing them for the stupid decisions that they make. My two examples, if you've ever heard of the movie The Ritual,
No, actually.
The Netflix one?
I don't think it's the Netflix one.
Okay, no, then I know there's two.
Okay.
I've only seen the Netflix one though.
The Ritual and the Halloween franchise. That's my dichotomy. So The Ritual, I'll just spoil the like first 30 minutes of the movie. A group of buddies go camping out in the middle of the woods a year after their friend was murdered in a convenience store robbery, and it's kind of the friend group's fault that their buddy died.
Okay.
And then there's a Halloween franchise where everyone's like, "Oh, there's an a knife murderer running around. I'll just keep my doors unlocked. It's fine." I don't know. In The Descent, Juno has a transgression, but it just doesn't feel like, to me, she's being punished by supernatural forces. And she's doing dumb shit, but again, it's not like she's being punished for it. It's just the story. Hear me out. What's scarier? Doing stupid shit, fucking around, finding out, or doing everything in your power to do things right, and even then it backfires and blows up in your face?
I think the second,
Mm-hmm.
but the first is pretty entertaining sometimes too.
I'm inclined to agree with you. This is one of the reasons I really enjoy, another podcast blog, the Magnus Archives. There are so many stories where, again, people are fucking around, they're finding out they did something really dumb, and that's how they're able to encounter these entities, these supernatural experiences. But there's some people that it's just, they did everything right. Like, there's one girl who sits on a train, and then the train gets filled up with dirt, and she's just like, okay, I guess I'll just lay here. And there's, yeah.
If I just lay here.
I was thinking the same thing.
Would you cover
Did she forget the
me
world?
in dirt? Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool.
And then she just woke up on a train, coughing
Weird.
up dirt.
Weird.
Yeah. And even if they did all the right, sorry, trying to get back on my train of thought. There are so many people that they just stumbled into the wrong place, the wrong time. It was completely by accident. And even if they're doing everything right, it doesn't matter. Their fates were sealed as soon as it happened. First off, I'm going to take out the dumb cheating plotline. I don't like it. I don't think it adds enough substance. In my version, Sarah, Beth, Juno, Sam, and Rebecca are all expert cave divers. Or not cave divers, they're just cavers. They're all expert cavers. And they also volunteer as cave rescuers whenever they're needed.
This is like Baywatch for caves, then. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's like a thing.
I know. I'm just thinking, like, dang. Okay, very different plot.
They are competent and meticulous. Maybe Juno's just a little bit more bold than Sarah and Beth might prefer, but they've been working together long enough where they trust each other's instincts on these kinds of things. The story kicks off with Juno calling in Sarah to get her help on a caving gone wrong incident. Some adrenaline junkies were found in a brand new cave. Some adrenaline junkies found a brand new cave a few days ago, and only one was able to make it out. Holly. Juno will mention at some point that she's mentored Holly. She got her introduced to the art of caving, and maybe Holly even makes like some offhanded joke about how she wants to be a rescue diver someday. She's so reckless,
Yeah.
she'll be able to get in and out easy peasy. Because the cave is so new, Holly is relatively and Holly like made out of the cave relatively unharmed. It's decided that she's going to join the rescue effort because she actually knows how to maneuver through the cave. And since it's a new cave, there's no record of it.
Okay.
Holly has to walk them through navigating the cave before they go, but she's only retained so much information. Time went by a lot faster than she imagined. Maybe there was some kind of gas leak. She thinks she may have hallucinated seeing other people in the distance or something, but whatever, hunger. They show up and we get multiple quick shots just showing how prepared everyone is. There's plenty of rope. There's enough flashlights to light up every inch of the cave. Extra batteries, chalk, flares, crowbars, hard hats, oxygen tanks with masks, ice picks, whatever, etc. They're locked and loaded. They're ready for anything that comes in their way. Except they're not. The vampires are able to smudge the chalk markings away so that the crew gets lost.
Quick question: how can they do that if they're blind? Do they just like smell the chalk?
Yeah, it could be they smell the chalk. It could be that they smell the chalk, yeah.
Okay.
The flares don't work to stun the vampires because they have no sight. What they do have is the ability to hear the flares go off very loudly, and since this cave is very cold and damp, the vampires are able to pick up on these temperature fluctuations that the flares would still give off with a chemical reaction.
I wondered about that during the movie.
Right?
I'll be completely honest. I didn't want to say anything because I like this movie, and I'm like, there's no way a director will be able to really think of all this when you're also having to direct / write. But like, yeah, the thought did cross my mind.
Also, like, you're gonna have like maybe not a sulfury smell. Again, I'm not really sure how flares work, but I imagine there's a smell associated with it too. You think vampires would be able to pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting the picture. They're acting with the best information that they have at the time, but they just don't have the right information. They have no survivors. Holly dies after she decides to not take the risky option. She sees the same path to leave the cave that she took previously, but the rest of the group won't or can't reach the exit with her. Holly won't leave them stranded with the vampires, and before she can take part in their last standoff, she's picked off first.
Damn.
Beth, her specialty is spatial orientation. She has a knack for not getting lost, and she's responsible for mapping out their route through the cave and marking out the exits. When the vampires obscure her wayfinding chalk marks to the exit, it's Beth who's the one who gets the feeling that they're being followed, hunted, and tricked. She gets a nasty cut, but manages to lead the vampires on a wild goose chase through a particularly confusing set of tunnels, where she eventually succumbs.
Okay.
Rebecca's death is one of the cues that gives the rest of the group the information that the vampires are blind. She has a flashlight in her hand, and before Sam is about to be attacked, she tries shining the light on the vampires to stun it. Then she lights the flare, and the instant the heat there's the heat, there's the sound, the smell. It's just so much sensory information. It makes her the target for the vampire that was about to eat Sam and maybe a couple others that were waiting in the wings. And Sam's able to just barely escape while the vampires are distracted.
Wait, I thought you said there was no survivors.
What do you mean?
You said there was no survivors. How did Sam survive?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
Sam, the doctor, or training to be a doctor, finds the bodies of Holly's stranded caver team. She's administering first aid or just inspecting the bodies, seeing if, what can be done for them, when one of them wakes up and attacks her. Baby vampire.
Oh, the little one. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if we're assuming they're vampires.
Oh, you made them actual vampires.
I made them actual vampires.
Okay.
Why not?
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a fun twist on it.
Juno dies when she and Sarah are surrounded by vampires. Sarah calls out that they should just book it, but Juno tells her that she's too brilliant to think that running wildly through caves recklessly would be a good idea. She gives Sarah just enough time to formulate an actual escape plan before she's cut down by a vampire. And Sarah dies, sealing up the closest exit to the cave, trapping herself with the vampires.
Why can't she just run out of the cave and then blow it up?
I don't know.
Okay.
Blow it up? Do they have access to explosives?
Yeah, I don't think they'd be bringing explosives per se, because this is like a rescue operation. What I'm kind of thinking is, like, there's a way where she can, like, destabilize the entrance to the cave, but she can't do it on her way out Like she can't do it outside. It
Oh,
has to be
okay, I
inside.
see. Okay, that's good. That's smart. Okay.
She's sacrificing herself so that other people, the outside world, won't be attacked by vampires.
Okay,
And yeah,
that's good.
Awesome. My turn. I think I made this film worse. Because this is a good movie.
This is a really good movie.
So I actually like the all female cast because this is how you do feminism. You write good characters first. They just all happen to be women. Like awesome, great. Again, I don't like the thing that I always bring up. I think is the Avengers Endgame feminism scene, which is fucking horrible. So bad.
it was so forced.
Yeah, it was forced, and that's the thing. Like you don't force that shit unless that's the entire theme of your movie, like Barbie and Poor Things. Either way, I like the all female cast. It was interesting. The whole Juno cheating, yeah, also thought that was kind of stupid.
Damn, I'm the only one who liked it.
Um,
It's just the perfect. It's the perfect powder keg to go off at the worst time.
I agreed. I just felt like,
not needed.
yeah,
I mean, that's fair. It was just like a small thing to add a little mwah to the movie. I don't know. I usually
Little
hate these
moi.
subplots.
Yeah,
chef kiss.
but yeah, I liked the vast majority of this movie. Really. And Juno being the like toxic one in the group, I actually like that too.
You know, she was fun.
And Holly also being a little toxic. But I liked the way Juno was written as a character and her motivations and all that. Even though she was kind of stupid, but it was good. I liked it. The creatures could have been better designed, in my opinion.
Really?
They're just like pointy eared, blind, pale humans. Like, it's stupid. It's gross. I hate everything about it. The vampire in Midnight Mass had better design than this.
That was only one.
Still.
They had to design how many for this movie?
Yeah, you can. Whatever. It's stupid.
Also,
I
like
hate it.
the budget was small for this film. I think Netflix gave Midnight Mass more.
Possibly.
But Midnight Mass came after like The Haunting of Hill House and a couple other Mike Flanagan hits, so they knew that they had this. This was indie, wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Yes.
I think it
Or
it,
double A instead of triple.
it was pretty small scale. The guy had done one other movie, and then people really liked it, so asked him to do a different one. He came up with it in 3 hours on his
damn.
train ride home. And then, well, the general idea and the little, you know, he came up with the first draft of it like in 3
Yeah.
hours.
The
And
budget for this movie was $3.5 million in 2005.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. In
there was
2005?
Yeah, but for filmmaking, that seems small.
that's really small.
For 2005?
Yeah.
Again, like this whole like 400 million budgets for movies, that's new. Like,
Let me look something up. Stay Alive. Right? What was the budget for that one?
probably really low.
Well, again, that wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, but it's around the 7 million.
Okay, there's another.
Oh no,
movie
the
called
budget
Cave.
the budget for Stay Alive was 20 million. Okay.
So, no, this movie's tiny compared to
Yeah, it is.
a lot of other films. So I'm completely fine with all like this
either
movie
way,
punched,
either way,
the movie punched above its weight class.
There's another movie that came out.
Terrifier 3's budget was 2 million.
The other Cave movie that came out the same year was 30 million. This is a tenth of that
Okay.
budget.
Also, Terrifier 3 is made like I don't know how to explain it with words right now because you just threw that on me. But generally, Terrifier 3 is like a very different kind of movie. The sets are more realistic. You can just hire a shop. They made actual cave sets for this film.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, it wasn't as claustrophobic as I thought it was going to be, which was good for me.
Yeah, same.
Cuz The Buried sucks. And yeah, I don't know. it all was really good. The UK ending was also god tier ending. So how would I? What would I? I can't make this. I can't make this movie better. All right,
Even if
because
you take out your dislikes?
you, I I guess I don't know. It's still pretty good even with the Juno cheating part. Like the only thing that could make this movie better was just hire better actresses. That's it.
I thought they did pretty good.
Yeah, they did mostly okay, but not all of them.
The main three and Holly did pretty good.
Yes. Anyways, since you did a Minecraft fix and you did something else also, I'm just gonna lean into the early 2000s found footage film circle jerk. All right.
Hit me.
So I will start this movie off as like shot more traditionally, as the whole thing happens, and yeah, Sarah's. It all starts off the same with Sarah losing her husband and daughter in a
Do we see
terrible,
that in the?
tragic
Do we see
accident.
that in the with the found
No, he said
footage?
no. He said
No, no,
the
this
first
is
bits.
traditionally shot. It
Oh,
starts off
okay.
traditionally
My
shot,
bad. My bad.
right? And it starts off more or less the same. Sarah suffers through the same tragedy or some other different tragedy, and then like a year later, yeah, Juno gets everyone together, and then like I want Juno to be very upfront with it of like this is like we're gonna go explore a new cave system. Like this is like they're all experienced cavers also, by the way, like very like professionals almost, right? And they got permissions to kind of like go into this cave and like map out the first I don't know sections of it of whatever they can find and such. And it's all traditionally shot all the way up until they enter the cave, and that's when we switch to the found footage style of filming. And yeah, honestly, it all goes more or less the same with the creatures. I I have this like image of my head of like the camera cutting in and out during the beginning of them just like traversing through all of this stuff, and then once the creatures start popping up, like it's a more uh continuous shot. And I also want to add two cameras because they will get split up in here also, and then we can swap between back and forth of the two different point of views of like the found footage film on this kind of stuff. Uh, and yeah, there won't be any accidental team kills in this one. All the creatures or the singular creature.
So they have party kill off in this server.
Yeah, and also I would probably make it like just one creature monster also, not several.
You really want this to be Midnight Mass.
I really want this to be Alien, is what I want.
Yeah.
Valid. Valid. Alien with more than one Ripley. Go off, King.
Yeah, but yeah, the one creature in here will slowly like pick them off one by one, do things to the cave to separate them off more, split them apart and such, to isolate them and go for the kill after that, to show us that these things actually have some kind of intelligence, or this one thing is pretty smart. And yeah, I'll just end it the same, more or less the same way. We're like, uh, I do want to add. I don't know how I would add like because I do like the hallucination of Sarah's daughter.
You just see it from the outside perspective only. That's
Yeah,
creepier. Like it really does show that she snapped.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess I don't want to break too many like found footage and traditional shot kind of stuff too much in the film, but honestly, it could work that sometimes the camera goes off and you can see Sarah, but I would say you would only ever show Sarah in the traditional once they're in the cave, and then in the traditional shooting, that's when Sarah has some hallucinations, and then when she turns the camera back on, it's gone, kind of stuff like that. And then I would end it the same way as the UK horror, where she hallucinates, that goes back to traditional, pans out, and you'll just see like the creature like just like walking up behind her or something. Yeah. What, Ruthie?
Uh, I wanted you to finish your fixes. I remembered something. I was expecting Hector to say something. When you and I were talking about the movie, Hector, you told me that something that I kind of picked up on as they were walking towards the cave. They mentioned that there were hallucinations. There's a chance that none of that was actually, none of the vampires were actually real.
So
Holly's neck
Oh.
just did that.
no, so um,
You know, it
the
could be.
original. There was one more bit of the interview I didn't want to say until the end.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No. I'm letting you know now. You didn't know. The guy interviewing him asked. This interview was done like 2 years ago, I think. Like it's very recent, and he was just like, "So were they actually real, or because there's some evidence that it was all fake?" And he was like, "Originally, I was gonna make it ambiguous, but I was gonna actually originally he was gonna add a scene, if I remember correctly, where when she's in the hospital and the lights are turning off,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to see one of them appear. But if they did that, it'd been way too obvious that it was fake. So they scrapped the idea, but they left hints of it in there because there's again descent into madness too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance that maybe Holly's neck didn't do that, but maybe they did that to Holly and they blamed the
No, I
No,
subscribe to Holly's
Holly's
neck.
Holly's neck just kind of did that.
Yeah, and Sarah, or no,
and
and Sam.
And Sam, yeah, it just did that.
yes, the classic JFK theory. His head just
Yeah.
did that.
Yes, it just kind of did that.
But yeah,
Yeah, but
goddamn fucking
I
A.
I,
This
I
movie's
think
an A, easy A.
yeah, I'd say it's an A minus.
Yeah, it's like a A- B plus. It's not my cup of tea. It's a good
Again,
movie, but
yeah.
it's not mine.
Also, I again, sorry, I forgot to mention this. I would also make the movie 2 hours to give 30 minutes to all the characters, and also give them more like distinctive features to be able to tell them apart easier.
Yeah,
Hire a
Rebecca was
black lady.
true.
What?
It was super white.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you have Juno for the Asian representation. Get a black lady in there.
And you have
Maybe an
Holly for
Indian
the
lady.
Irish representation.
Yeah.
Everybody
Oh
else
yeah.
was,
Better
like,
more
Scottish.
accents also help with identification.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, 30 minutes more because so you can get attached to the characters somewhat, and less snappy isms against Holly and all that.
I read a story online of some dude who took a date to see this movie because what happened was it was like a first or second date.
Oh god.
The movie they wanted to see was sold out. So they're like, well, this movie about a cave. Let's just see it. They didn't know about the monster. So when that fucking happened, they jumped. They're like, oh shit, it's the wrong kind of movie.
Although that's a good gamble to make for a first date, because isn't it the whole thing about like, oh, you gotta kind of raise your heart rate and then you'll like, isn't that like the secret sauce they always
Trauma
tell you?
bonding, yeah, no, it's the thing.
Not trauma bonding.
I mean, it's the same. It's a similar science to it.
Yeah.
I always think it's a little sus, but I wouldn't say trauma bonding.
No, it's the same type of thing as trauma bonding. People go through a tough experience, heart rates raise, they get closer because of that. I'm not saying it's the same thing. It's a science. I'm saying the science similar.
Oh, so they're like cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll give this an A minus. The minus is just because we don't get 30 minutes extra to get to know the characters better.
Picky pants.
I like the hour and a half. Felt tight.
Hey,
tight
let me be an elitist about horror movies. They're my favorite.
You always we do let you be elitist.
Yeah,
it's getting
we have a whole
cool.
podcast about it.
So, there's days where I'm like, and even in our personal life, I'm like, Ed, please stop.
Horror movies are the best.
They are.
Well sci-fi is also really good. The two best genres.
What are?
Sci-fi and horror. They're the two best, the least explored, in my opinion, also.
I feel like a good comedy is my favorite.
Shut that
I like
up.
horror. I love horror, but I love comedies.
Yeah. Media consumption recommendations.
So I'm only halfway through, but I doubt the second half is going to make me unrecommend it. I started watching the Netflix documentary. I think it's Will and Harper,
Yes.
not Harper and Will.
I can't. I think it's Will and Harper because Will Ferrell is a lot more well known.
Well, yeah, because Harper's his writer, or was his writer. But yeah, if you aren't already familiar with it, it's Will Ferrell and his friend Harper Steele. The two of them worked together back in
Wasn't SNL days?
it was SNL days. That's when they met. And before, when they first met, Harper was. It feels weird saying her dead name. She was a dude, and they were friends for like their entire lives. And then she transitioned during the pandemic, and she was always kind of like a rough and tumble kind of guy. Grew up in Iowa, and now she's Harper. And Will, she mentioned to him like offhandedly, like, I'm kind of sad I can never do a road trip like I used to do. And Will's like, bet. And they go on a road trip together doing all the like rough and tumble dive bar kind of things that she loved doing. And it's really sweet.
That's sweet.
Wow.
Did you watch that while I was at?
Yes, while you were at the concert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ed, do you want to go next? I think you're going to talk about the concert.
Nope. I'm going to talk about Terrifier 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, talk about Terrifier 1, 2, and 3.
Terrifier, the Terrifier trilogy, which is going to be a saga because there's definitely a fourth one coming out. Amazing. They are the modern day slashers, and they are good slashers. Like they reminded me of like the original Friday the 13th, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. They are much more gory and violent though, which I think just fits better in the 2020s now. I would recommend all three. Are Terrifier 1 and 2 are free on Prime. Terrifier 3 is in theaters currently. They are, yeah, again, cannot stress this enough. The gore and like the violence on it is on a whole other level.
Can I just hang out with you and we can watch them or something? Because I don't want to risk that with Ruth. If
Yeah,
Ruth is going to be in the apartment.
yeah,
There's rarely a time where I'm not busy and she's gone. So
yeah, it is, yeah. They're, I will say the first one had the worst scene, and I think they recognize that. So in Terrifier 2 and 3, they don't try to up it, the grossness of it. They just try to be more creative with like the weapons and how they do the kills. It's honestly great, and I love the lore of Art the Clown and all of that, because it's very vague and very like actually interesting, and they don't give you everything. They don't really build much of the lore on the first one. Actually, no, they do. Yeah, but they build a little bit on the lore of Art the Clown, and some he has spoilers. He has some connection with the main girl's father. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I like them a lot. They're really funny. Also, I saw Cube for the first time ever.
what's
Very good as
Cube?
well. Cube, horror movie, Canadian, came out a long time ago. CUBE.
I
Very
figured
good also.
CUBE. Okay. So you've been getting your
Anyways,
Halloween on.
Cube.
yeah, Cube. Very good. Hector, any media?
I was watching something and I spaced. What was I watching?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I can't remember if it was a TV show or
Well, tell me and I'll remember.
was it an anime?
Dragon Ball?
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Daimo's out. Oh yeah, there's a new episode out tonight. I might watch it before
Dragon
bed.
Ball Daimo, yes.
Yeah, it's before Super. It's a few years before Super starts. It was the last thing Akira Toriyama wrote, and you can definitely feel it. He's expanding on lore in a lot of fun ways, and like it's just it's silly. It seems to be more even the theme song. I'm not watching it on Crunchyroll. It's so they actually say what the theme song says. Fuck you, Crunchyroll. they are. It's a more silly. It's like, yeah, we're going off to adventure in the demon world. Like that's kind of like the lyrics. It's just a fun little adventure, and it looks very cute. They're all turned into children or miniature. They're not technically children because Piccolo is supposed to be the same age he was when he fought Goku in Dragon Ball, and he's already a full grown adult, but he's chibi. So they're all just smaller versions of themselves. It's very fun.
Yeah, but the demon, they did wish for for them to be children, turn them into children, first graders.
It was the big bad of the show.
Yeah,
wish for that.
Also, I thought this was supposed to be like, this is like the rewriting of GT, right?
Sort of. What happened was, so if I understand it correctly, I know Akira Toriyama was on record saying he wishes he thought of the Goku turning into a child thing, because that was an actually good idea. He
from
said
GT.
yes. So he I guess he thought about like, wait, why not just have them all, a lot of them be turned into children, and also like, why not? And he just kind of built on that. It so far it's looking like fun little Dragon Ball adventures and exploration more than just fights.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there's only been 2 episodes. Third now as we're recording this, but I haven't seen it yet. The third one.
Me neither.
But it's fun. As a big Dragon Ball fan, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes with my roommates, and we watched it on Crunchyroll, and we watched it subbed, and oh my god, I hate Goku's voice.
I mean, she's been doing it for like 50 years.
I know, but I am used to Dragon Ball Z like his dub voice.
Oh yeah.
So like, it just can't handle how high pitched it is.
I mean if anything, it's perfect because that was the same voice she used with Kid Goku in the original.
I can't handle it.
I don't mind it. I mean,
I can't handle it.
Funny enough, they changed everyone else's voice actors because they're younger versions, but she still fits.
I can't not handle it.
That's fine.
I hate everything about it.
And
she's a great voice actor. Nothing against the voice actress. She's great.
You just can't handle it. No, I get it.
That voice with Goku, not my thing.
What was the last?
Naruto's kid voice kind of really annoys me.
In English, or
yeah,
it's the same lady.
No, but like
it's raspier.
What?
Naruto's voice is raspier.
Yeah, in Shippuden he kind of grows up a little, but it's the combination of the voice itself, like the way that the voice actress for Naruto is producing the voice, and the stupid shit he says. It just drives me kind of up a wall sometimes.
I read Naruto. I didn't watch it, so
You skipped that, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Naruto, like, huh?
What on earth are you on about?
I've just never. I just yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I beat Dark Souls 2. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It's not the worst game I've beaten. That goes to Sonic 06. You haven't done
the Frigid Outskirts run back.
I didn't do. I forgot. I hit New Game Plus before I told it I was going to do it, and then I hit New Game Plus without thinking, so I can't go back.
Well, no, you can. You can just play the New Game Plus version and just go straight to the DLC.
Fuck that. I got attacked as literally the first second I popped into the world in New Game Plus. Like, they changed everything up, and it is fucking hell. So, no. But, I like tough. I'm a masochist. I'm not that much of a masochist. Like, that's...
Here's the deal, Hector. I'm gonna play Dark Souls 2. I'm gonna get to the Frigid Outskirts.
You're gonna quit halfway through.
I'm going to try the run back, and then I'm gonna stay there, and then you're gonna do the run back.
You're not going to get... Okay, I'll do... That's fair.
I need to beat Dark Souls 1 first, though.
Yep. Beat Dark Souls 1. I love Dark Souls 1.
Good shit.
Dark Souls, they're all good. I mean, Dark Souls is okay, but it's still good. That's it. What are we doing next?
Is it my pick?
I think it's your pick, yeah.
I want to do As Above, So Below.
No, it's just The Buried, and I don't like it. For context, it's from the Magnus Archives.
Yeah, it is definitely the Buried.
Is it more claustrophobia shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck, Ruthie.
Yeah,
you guys got me in a mood.
The Buried, and I don't like it.
Okay. So yeah, join us next time for
As Above,
So
As
Below.
Above, So Below.
Man, we did not say that at all at nearly close to the same time.
Well, I wasn't
As Above, So I
So
was
below.
trying to say,
Fuck!
I was
Ed,
trying
you
to
ruined
say, me one part and you one part, as
Oh.
above.
So below.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were going to say it wrong, so I was saying it correctly.
I would do that.
You would.
Anyway, have a good day, everyone.
And maybe even good night.
No.
Good
No.
evening.
Yes,
Good
good
morning?
evening, not good night. Good evening's on thin fucking ice.
Today's film was The Descent, directed by Neil Marshall. The writer was Neil Marshall, and the cinematographer was Sam McCurdy. Go show some love to their various social media accounts. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here. Happy Halloween.